On March 20th, 2026, for World Water Day, the Water Academy S.A.D. Foundation, with Regione Liguria and Regione Piemonte, held a high-level roundtable symposium on water, a health vulnerable substance and a safety and security challenge. After the event, Roger Hearing interviewed Filippo Uberti of Eni and Giulia Giuffrè of Irritec, highlighting the vital links between water, food, energy and daily life.
We're going to be talking in this short interview about the energy-water nexus. Now, you might ask what that is, and indeed that's going to be my first question. But the people I'm talking to know a lot about this. It's Filippo Uberti from ENI, and I've also got Giulia Giuffrè from Irritec, both people who deal a lot with water and what water means, and of course both of them work in the area of energy as well. So I'll ask the first question, if I may then, to you, Filippo. What do you understand as the energy-water nexus?
Thank you. Thank you for to organize this event. It's a good question. The difference between what I have heard and experienced and what I have understood about, because this second point is quite not already well defined, if I can. At first, let me say that energy could be not produced without water. So in our sector, that is the energy production, not only from oil and gas, so fossil, but also when we speak about non-fossil and renewable energies, we have to consider that the management of water is at the same level, challenge. Because if we speak about fresh water, all the energy sector is managing about the 10% of all over the management of the water. Just the agriculture sector will manage and consume more than energy. But again, we start to produce energy also from the agriculture with agrobusiness. So they are only looking to the numbers really connected. This is the part related to the industrial process. The nexus is very deeper at the moment that we speak about the involvement of the communities and the link between the production of energy and the day-by-day life of the communities around.
So just to clarify, when you say deeper, you mean you're working with local people to try and make sure they have good, clean, reliable, safe drinking water?
Very good. Not only drinking water, but also water for local, normal productivity, not only related to the energy. We have spoken about agriculture, but also normal production of the other industries in the countries. When we speak about the management of water for the civil services like hospitals, medical assistance, and so on. So what is very important, but is something that is every time in ENI, so the company is Eni mission, is a deep relationship with the local communities.
Forgive me, Filippo, for a moment though. You're an oil company. You're a company that does oil and gas.
Oil and gas, yeah, energy company.
All right, energy. Yeah. Why on earth are you getting involved with helping communities? You're a business, surely.
If you look to the story of Eni, is a story that is connected to the local communities, because in terms of technology, in terms of financial capability, particularly at the beginning of our industrial history, we were not at the same level of of the Seven Sisters, they say. So U.S. And
the big oil companies.
The big oil companies. So the success of our company is in the connection with the local communities, with which we share the income and the knowledge about the management of our technologies. Okay. So now the story is growing on the basis of this relationship.
Okay, let me put the same question. I borrow your microphone and pass it across to Giulia. Giulia, first of all, that point about the nexus, the water-energy nexus. I mean, you're a company that is involved in irrigation. You use energy to do that, of course, but water is what you're dealing with. So just explain the nexus as you see it.
Yeah, thank you for this question, because it's a perfect question, I think, for me, because Irritec is a manufacturing company. So we, as you said, we use energy, but our value proposition is to give to the farmers solutions for a water management, but also an energy management, because efficiency irrigation system let us use less water, but also have less power to distribute correctly the water. So it's very interesting, this nexus. So that's why, for example, in Irritec we have it's called Greenfield Project. It's a program to reduce the carbon footprint, beginning with the water efficiency in our plant, manufacturing plant, but also to create products with less carbon emissions materials, like organic materials, or with high recycle percentage of raw materials in it. This means to have an irrigation plant in the field with less carbon emissions, also with a reduced water footprint. That's
Let me ask you then about one of the things that people do say about irrigation. Irrigation making what wasn't farmland, productive farmland, making it productive. But that production in itself causes the problems in some areas. It draws water from in water-poor areas, overuses. There's been lots of historical examples of water being used perhaps almost too much. Yeah. The former Soviet Union was a classic example. With your business, how do you approach that? How do you get your green credentials from doing what you're doing?
Well, we promote. Exactly, we promote our how correctly use the irrigation systems, and this starting from the education. You need to educate people to understand how you use it, that you spread know-how. That's, I think, the main point. And of course, this means correct irrigation method, but also to have a culture of the water and to do not waste the resources.
Do you think you're being successful as a business in doing that at the moment?
I think that's the okay. If we in those cases, we have the education and the training part. We have success. There are some cases where you cannot because it's not only an Irritec project, but we sometimes in some cases we give only the materials because it's a government or with other companies, so we cannot have the power to give it the training. In those cases, it's a pity to see how for example, the automation. The digital automation machine, if you don't have the maintenance, the assistance, the raw material assistance, they leave it. Okay, doesn't work, you leave it. No, it's a very pity, and you need the training, the maintenance to spread the know-how. For example, we made with the Italian cooperation a very interesting educational program called AgriLab, okay, by our Irritec Academy. And in Senegal, we educate 100 farmers and 40 professionals in Senegal. This means to give the know-how in local. So that's I think the best way to have success.
Let's move on to the future and all this. If I can borrow your microphone and pass it back to Filippo here. Filippo, you've said, and I've heard you say, that the company is trying to get to a point not just of water neutrality, but water positivity. Now, I want to ask you what those terms actually mean. First of all, what does water neutral mean exactly?
Yeah, means that what you take in terms of water, fresh water, is replaced through technicality that can give to the environment the same quantity that you have used.
So just to interrogate that, you take the water out to do what you need to do.
Also from the wells.
Yeah, and then you clean it up and give it back.
Yeah, and give back to the community, to the use, civil use, and to the environment too.
Right.
And because E&I is part of the CEO coalition, that is an organization in UN in order to protect and to promote the management of water, because it's part of this committee, we have taken an objective to have the neutrality in terms of water management in 2030. And to become positive in 2050.
All right, let's take up the word positive. We've dealt with neutral. 2050, quite a way off.
Yeah,
but
not so much.
That would mean somehow that you're bringing more water to these communities.
Yes, because we have capabilities, we have technologies. We are and we will be in a position to cover our, responsibility position inside the civil society.
But how would you do that? Would you just find more wells? Would you?
No,
how would you
just inside our industrial process, we define and develop the technologies connected to the production of energy that can be used to increase the water capacity of our community environment to guarantee water in that system.
So E&I becomes a water company then, in effect?
I do not exclude that.
It's an interesting line. Let me pick up that line with Giulia. Giulia, what you do with Irritec is as we said, you're using energy to, in effect, encourage agriculture. That's the bottom line, isn't it? Yeah. Is there a point where you don't want to go too far with that? Because in the end, all the agriculture that is using the water is drawing from a limited source. And you might use up the water, and in one particular area. Is that a risk?
Yes, for us, even this alternation of to have too much water in some cases and the drought in some moment is risky for us, because this means that also the farmers reduce the cultivation, and in some case, when you don't have water, you cannot even give the efficiency method to use it because you don't have water. If you don't have any water, you cannot manage anything. So it's very important not only to have solution for efficiency of use, but also for the reservoir to have some water to.
But you're not going to become a water company like E&I, but you can't produce the water. You just have to use what's there.
Yes, also the salination is a solution. In
Well, I was
some
going to ask you
cases,
about desalination. Is that part of what you work with?
yes, together with partners, we think it's a one in some cases, in some areas, also in Italy, in Apulia, also in some part of Sicily. We understand some farmers say that we cannot produce anymore because of the salt, so they need. Otherwise, they cannot have more production. So it's something that we need to, in some cases with partners, we give these solutions to farmers, and this is something that another solution that we are very focused, and we made a lot of research and development in these years with very successful data. It's the wastewater use.
Right.
Okay, because through the sanitation and also the correct water management with drip irrigation, so you do not touch with the water the fruit and the crop, but only the root. You can use it in a safety way, and this is a big resource that we have. We need to.
Is this what they call grey water? You have water that's obviously polluted, but you have water that's not necessarily clean, but it's still usable.
Yes, exactly. And you need to sanitize it also with UV light. There are different technologies. It's an important resource. The problem is the distribution. We don't have the distribution of this kind of water, so we waste it. But there is some progress. Some water companies are working on that, and so I'm positive about it.
Let me pick that up, because I want to pick up on one thought with you, Filippo, which is at the moment, as you know, both your companies are clearly intent on being more green and looking at environmental factors and climate change, and yet the political winds are blowing in almost in the different direction than that, certainly coming from the United States. But ENI isn't going to change its position on that.
No, because we believe in this opportunity. So the opportunity from our perspective also to increase our business. So we at the end are a company, and we have to do business. We have an ethics. We have declare, and we believe in our ethic principle. We believe in also in the Millennium Development Goals. We believe in the human rights, and water. The access to water is a human right. We believe that if we invest as we are doing in the green way to produce energy, we will increase our business with a big, advantage also for the communities that for our history are so important. So because of that, it's not something that is connected to the, to the fashion of the thing in a particular timeline. Is a proper business opportunity.
And water is part of that.
And water is part of that because also of organization of our business that has also a dedicated division that is in charge for the restoration of the industrial sites, not only ENI sites, but also other businesses. And so in our portfolio, there are also projects in order to help a particular country or situation to restore environment and to give to our client the opportunity to develop something different more. And water, about that, is absolutely important.
I mean, there'll be people listening to this, Filippo, watching this who perhaps are skeptical. They say you're an energy company.
Yeah.
In the end, if you find a really good new area of oil or gas, and people say, well, that's going to affect the local water, it's going to pollute it. In the end, they're saying a company like ENI will just say, we're a business, we go for the profit.
Yeah.
What would you say?
Our business is a long-term business. So we are looking not only to the immediate profit. We look also to the sustainability of our business in the future. So we say no if there are not the conditions to have something that is according also to our ethics, but also to the ethics to do business. Because we have seen that is more profitable, and this is our story. Then the presence in a particular situation that maybe not immediately can give you profit, because you are there, we have some kind of relationship, could be the situation in order to maybe have more and more benefit in the future. And this resilience, particularly in this geopolitical situation, has produced a lot of benefit for ENI and also for our country. If you look to the lack of the gas, not only now but also in the recent past. So it's a strategical view that I'm proud to have in my company.
Okay. Let me put similar questions then to you, Giulia, because I think people do wonder about this. I mean, first of all, that question about, you have green credentials, you are keen to be a company that thinks about climate change and attempts to deal with it. But again, is that a company policy or just a policy because everyone else is doing it?
Yes, but I tell you some more. Our ESG mind begins with climate change.
Environmental,
environmental, social government. Because with the E of the environment, but actually, now we understand that to be sustainable means also to look at people and look at the governance. So what we are spreading also with our people, our employees, is all the three themes. And when we are talking about people, it's not only our people, but also the people that works in the farms. So it was very, very important for us also to give the solution to live to give to the people a way to work correctly. Also the women conditions. You know that in farming a lot of women works. So to give to them more space for family. If you give automation and water management solutions, you give to them also the way to stay more in family and a better lifestyle. So that's something that's very important. It's a 360
I suppose
way
people
to see.
might listen to that and say, well, that sounds a bit like social engineering, which is probably a good thing. But you're a business.
Yeah.
Your bottom line is to make a profit.
Of course, we need to make profit. We are a profit company, and the sustainability. The first part of sustainability is to have profit. But even for example, I told you before the project we made in Senegal with Italian cooperation. When we made the proposition, the proposal for the project, we need to give to them a business plan with some revenues, because this means that this is a business with revenues. This means that you give to the local to the country where you make the project, some know-how, and the project that gives money. I mean, just an economic sustainability.
Yeah.
So it's very important, this part. You don't have to be necessary no profit.
You don't see a conflict between those two things then?
No. In our case, maybe we are lucky because our value proposition is to save the planet with our solution. But of course, if you tell me never, no. It's not never. In some cases, we need to choose because to be sustainable means to make investments. Investment needs this money, and not always we can do it immediately. We need a plan. To be sustainable, actually, means to have a plan to improve ourselves. It doesn't mean to have positive, immediately water profit, positive or energy positive, or carbon emission.
It's like Filippo was saying about the long
carbon
term.
zero, yes.
It's the long term you're thinking about.
It's a medium, long-term view. This means that you're making investment, you're organizing yourself to improve. That's of course, it's not easy, but it's something that we need to. There's no choice.
Well, on that note, I think we can probably end this. Thank you so much, Filippo. Thank you so much, Giulia.
Thank you.
And I hope we got some insights there into how you decide, in a way, between what is green and what is profitable, and perhaps there isn't a division. That's the sense I get from this. Thank you very much.
Thank you.